Shout out to Let's Talk, trending hot topic. Shout out there, young brother, really putting out a lot of great content. Please, please, please go subscribe to his channel. Young brother is doing things.
All right, peace, everybody. What's going on? It's your boy. Let's talk. All right, so it's been a while since I decided to go live, and I figured I'd go live right now, real fast, just to have a little conversation with y'all. And y'all see the title of the video, so I mean, let's talk about it. It seemed like Black people, as a whole, are forced to apologize. You know, throughout the, but the funny thing about it is, this ain't nothing new. I'm saying maybe because of social media, we starting to see it a lot. Maybe because of technology and cameras and all that stuff. And like I said, social media. So it's more so put in our faces, but this ain't nothing new. I think this been going on since the beginning, since the natives been conquered over here, since a lot of our ancestors been brought over here, and we've been taught and bred to be this way, to apologize to master, because that's pretty much what it is. And the sad part about it is now even Ye, he even was forced to apologize. Now, my thing is, was it like necessary force? Right. Stop apologizing. Lucky Sports says stop apologizing. And I absolutely agree with you. I wouldn't apologize. Because what's that old saying goes? Either you stand for nothing or you fall for anything. And I get it. A lot of these guys are under the umbrella of the corporate sector, or even just like the Hollywood entertainment world, because I believe it was Brad Pitt or George Clooney. Correct me if I'm wrong. If one of y'all know, please let me know. But it was either one of those guys. But they said that the people who control Hollywood control the world. And to some extent, that could be true. You see what goes on in Hollywood, and you see how it connects everything on this planet. I've been telling y'all ever since I started this channel. Shoot, even before I started YouTube, when I started off just making Facebook posts and going live, that all this stuff connected, and everything on this planet is like a ripple effect. Like, it's a cause and effect. For every action, there's a reaction, and we're living it. And I haven't said this in a while, but my motto was always still the same: stay prayed up, stay prepped up. Before I even started to go live, I was just watching a few videos on prepping and bunkers and stuff, because some of y'all know, who follow me anyway, know I'm into that stuff. And because of the sea germ and all that stuff slowed down, I kind of figured that the bunker business and all that stuff was slowed down, because I haven't really like looked into it in a few months as I was before, because I've been doing so much other stuff. But as I start looking into it again now, just recently, like an hour or so ago, this shit is at an all-time high, bro. Like, it's to the point where the billionaires not even doing it no more. You got millionaires and people who just got the means to do it. People who just have money or who saved up. Some people even like putting themselves in debt pretty much to get these bunkers and stuff made for themselves and their families. Because there's a lot of stuff going on. And you might be saying, well, Lynch, well, what does this have to do with Kanye West and all that? Well, like I said, all this stuff is connected. Didn't Ye just say the other day that what's the face, George Soros was the reason why he's being canceled? And that kind of threw me as a shocker because out of everything that he would say, that was the last thing I thought he would say. Like out of everyone he could have mentioned, he said George Soros is the reason. Then, but it kind of makes sense because on the interview he mentioned how you know Black Lives Matters and the people involved behind them and everything was involved in all his stuff, and that's i.e. Mr. Soros allegedly. Let's put that out there for purposes allegedly. We don't want to just put that on him, but what's understood don't got to be explained. I think we all dig it. So for him to say that was like, all right, and then he started mentioning other stuff too that I've been hearing the last few years. But where I said in my video, I think I made last night, whereas though a lot of people who've been talking about this stuff been getting canceled, even me. Like they try to cancel this channel a few times. That's why I've been kind of falling back, just trying to give myself some space. Because the powers that be don't like people talking about this stuff. And I kind of thought that I would back up and get out of it. But, I mean, truth be told, it is what it is. Like, once you start gaining knowledge yourself, once you start gaining certain stuff, like, you really can't just keep that stuff just hitting, especially when there's so many people just ignorant to it. Now, I would say that I won't force anything on no one or try to nag people, because I used to talk to people a lot about certain stuff, and people don't be trying to hear that shit. And I mean, I can dig it, especially if you don't know. But ignorance isn't bliss, not by a long shot. And so many people assume that being ignorant to things is so much better than knowing. Because if you don't know, then you be caught out in the open when the inevitable shit hits the fan. Because when you really break it down, that's what we're really talking about here. Like, whether you want to believe it or not, whether people be thinking about stuff like everything, the stuff that, like, all right, put it like this, like the stuff that we say online, stuff you hearing Ye saying, shit, you can even take Charleston White and all those other people when we talk about the self-destruction of the community and everything. What do you think all that stuff leads up to? Then when you see everything that's happening around the world and you see the wars and the potential world wars and the famine and the blatant ignorance and disrespect that's just running rampant and rampant and rampant, you just like, all right, something going down. But you know, you just, if you're anything like me anyway, you kind of just fall back and just observe, just watch, keep your ears to the street, just looking and paying attention, but not really reacting, but just staying prepared. Hold on, what you say? You said Kanye didn't really apologize. He said he's sorry if he hurt people, but he didn't say he's sorry for the words he used. Okay, but I didn't know that. And if that's true, that's even better. Because I'm kind of like that too. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Like, if I hurt your feelings, then all right, I'm sorry your feelings may be hurt, but that's that's what it is. If you can't handle that, then that's something that you gotta look in within yourself. So I'm shoot. I'm glad you put that up there because I was watching the interview earlier with Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he was saying that Kanye West apologized too. I didn't really see it for myself. I just know about the whole N.O.R.E incident and just everyone else who just apologized for so much stuff because the list goes on. You got Kevin Hart, you got Dave Chappelle, Will Smith, not the slap, but other stuff. I think Will Smith should apologize for that slap, but and just so many others. It's like, why y'all keep apologizing? Don't stop apologizing because the fact that they trying to cancel him for what he's saying proves his point, proves everything that he's saying. And you got all these people out here trying to say that he's delusional and crazy and all that stuff. You know the funny thing about that though, or the ironic thing about being called crazy. And this is not me saying that he's a genius or I agree with him or disagree with him, but the irony of it is so many men and women that we revere as great now here in the present, they were looked at as crazy themselves in their time, like a Galileo, like a Nietzsche. Shoot, even most recently, Professor Stephen Hawking. Some people kind of thought he was out of there. Look at Elon Musk. Some people think he's a little eccentric, but look at his status. Look what he's doing. So I mean, is it so bad? As people look at you as crazy, you know what I mean? People will look at me as weird or whatever. They may call me a misogynist or they may call me mean or I don't have a sense of humor, whatever. The way I look at it is what you eat don't make me shit. That's something I try to teach my daughters too. Or you shouldn't worry about what people thoughts of you. Not even really your closest relatives. So if I live by that notion, whereas though not even people that I know and love and respect, I really don't care about their opinions and thoughts of me. What do you think I really care about total strangers? I think most people I think most people today get so caught up in that. We probably because we live on social media so much now that we interact all the time on social media, so we equate that as to really knowing people. So if there's like some type of disagreement or fallout, people really get emotional, and it's like you probably never met or seen that person a day in your life, but you get what I'm saying. And yeah, people think Elon is weird. He is weird. He can be, but his weirdness made him the richest man in the world. I take that. It's so funny because people think I'm weird. That does. I'm actually. Let me put that up there real fast because that's actually what I meant to say about myself. people always thought that I was a weird or whatever, and that's cool for me. I take that. I take weird over being evil or mean or not having no heart, not having using common sense and all that. If me having like a character to myself and me trying to do something that's different, that's of importance for me and my family and potentially others, something that can be of value. If I'm looked at as weird for that, then I own that. A lot of people don't. They don't. They don't do that. So you said, hold up. Yeah, it seems like he apologized, but he didn't. I want to see the entire interview, though. So he did apologize, or he didn't. Either way it goes, whether it be Kanye or not, the the point is that black men, it seems, that are forced to apologize for what we believe in, and I think that's a bunch of crap. And the bad part about it is being supported by our woman. That's why really how it's really getting pushed, because it's being supported by most of our women, and you really don't see this. You really don't see this in any other culture like that. You don't see that with the Asian community. You really don't see it with the Spanish community, with the Caucasian community. None of them. It's just us. Now, is that not some type of system of control or what? Like, y'all gotta think about it. A lot of people been talking about this stuff for a while now. Now here you got a billionaire, a multi-billionaire, the richest black man, yeah, the richest black man in the world, talking about this. Which I kind of want to let me backtrack a little bit too, because he said that in his past interview too that people are neglecting to mention that he is in fact the richest black man in the world. People like to talk about Puff and Jay-Z and all of them, but the truth is that whether you like Kanye or not, whether you disagree with him or not, he can lend them $1 billion or two and still be richer than them. So it's like get that man some respect. He at least was able to accomplish that. He was smart. He had enough common sense and know how to be able to do that. And maybe because he's so high up in the brackets now, where he's up there, where he can kind of look up and see the elites. Maybe he's privy to some type of information and stuff that we don't know about. You heard him say that how they canceled all his stuff. Now, like I say, he's a rich and powerful guy, worth about 10, $11 billion. So it's like, how can you? Who else are doing that to him, other than people who is more richer and powerful than him, or more influence? And who else is up there? There's not a lot of people of color who's up there. who can do that, right? So that's what I be saying. Like, I try not to, just shove people off so fast. I try to listen to both sides because I've done that before in the past, and in doing so, I've missed out on a lot of good information. And I like take your guy Charleston White for example. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like what he do or say, and I've seen so many people in the beginning saying so much stuff against him that I was following with it. Same as Tommy Sotomayor, same exact thing. But then when I actually start listening to him, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, I don't agree with that, but I agree with that though. That makes sense. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Well, I agree with that though. I agree with that though. So it's like you can take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. That's me anyway. Like, I'm a little old school. Certain people now, and it's like, all right, if they don't like you, they don't like you. Whether you do, whether you say or do some good, it's just whatever you do or say it ain't shit because they don't like you personally for whatever reason. And that's another thing too. I've mentioned this before. I don't know people, like especially like these people, these big figures and all. I don't know these people on a personal level to really put stock in what people do or say. Like maybe on a high level where people can like people that has influence and control over the world, like food sources or laws and all that stuff, then yeah, that's different. But people like that on some internet type stuff, it's not that deep. I don't know you. You don't know me. It is what it is, you know. But that's just how I live my life, and I think that's why personally I get so much stick and hate from certain people because it's like they're like, "Oh, you act like you just don't care. You too better." Nah, I don't really think that I'm better than people or whatever. We all the same. But you might be right when people say that, or you act like you don't care. Like I really don't disagree with that part because I don't care, and a lot of people shouldn't either. And the fact that people do is the reason why so many people can get triggered when someone attack their favorite celebrity or when just someone says something. It's just so much. It's funny. I hate to call people fools, but that's in the Bible, and a lot of people are fools. I mean, I think we all, to be fair, we all gonna be fools sometimes. I know damn sure I can be, and I've been a fool before, but I'd be damned if I'm gonna keep being fooled by the status quo and not questioning things and just taking things for face value because someone of authority said so, which a lot of people do. You know, I applaud people to look at them old, and they right here on YouTube too. Look at them old, not old as far as like black and white, but old now as far as the times because being 2022. But these movies came out like in the late 90s. The Left Behind series with like Kirk Cameron, those movies. Like y'all should start looking at them. I've I've probably mentioned that several times on this channel on several videos. I'm gonna keep saying it because a lot of people need to get down with those because they're just real life iterations of they're Christian end time movies and they supposed to what's going on in the Bible. I understand that a lot of people don't believe in the Bible when it goes on, but I do. And if you're someone who does too, or know someone who does, and be thinking about everything that's going on now and feel like something is not adding up, I applaud y'all to go on here on YouTube in the search engine and look up Left Behind 1, 2, and 3. Just type in Left Behind 4 movie. Nicolas Cage, they came out with a remake back like in 2014, but it ain't do no justice. So just look at the old school movies that came out in the 90s, and I think the last one came out like in 2003. But those type of movies are like precursors of what I think was going to happen in in the near future. Because people always saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure y'all heard this too. Yeah, some of y'all probably said this, but people always saying, well, if something like that does happen, or if something go down, whatever, it's not gonna happen in our lifetime. People always like to put shit like that way ahead because people don't. Because the reality is, people don't want to believe that a major catastrophe can happen in our lifetime or right before your eyes. People don't want to believe that. But think about the people on 9/11. Think about those people on them planes. Or think about the people that was in those buildings. Do you think they believe that what happened that morning when they woke up? Shoot, I'll take you back. Think about the great earthquake in 1909 in San Francisco. Think about 1944 in Hiroshima, Nakatami. Think about the 1500s with the Black Plagues. Like I can go on and on and on. It's a lot of stuff that goes on, and we as people try to dismiss it. And I get it. It's better that way to live comfortably. So I fully I get it. You know what I mean? I ain't. I just talking about ignorance. I'm not ignorant to it. I understand. But the reality is, sometimes shit happens, and a lot of times it'll be beyond our control. And maybe it's so funny. I just hesitated because I just thought about something right where I was talking because it kind of dawns on me because I'm a type of person who try to control everything. I try to map things out and like I'm one of them people who have a plan from A to Z. You just can't go in blind with one or two plans. You got to go in with 10. That's how you survive. So My thing is how I'm always talking to y'all. I'm always trying to prepare, but the reality is that regardless how much I prepare, shit happens that I can't control, and for me that sucks. That's scary, and it's corny. And me being a Christian, I know it shouldn't be, but if I'm gonna be real with y'all, I gotta be real with y'all fully, and I gotta keep it funky, and that's my problem. That's one of my issues that I have to address. But to keep it funky with you, I don't think it's something that I'm probably ever going to stop. I'm always going to try to prepare and map out and plan and try to control to the best of my ability. You know, I I got this. We got this joke I grew up on talking because like me and my peoples, we always talk about like disasters or what if type of scenarios. And um, remember that movie? Remember that movie? Deep Impact when the comet hit the ocean and the ocean rised up and the water was coming and stuff, or just any type of like mega tsunami movies where like the ocean is covering the cities and it's coming. I've always said that because every time I talk to certain people, they be like, "Oh, I see something like that, I'm gonna pass out, or I'm just gonna stay there and fall, because there's nothing you can do." That's what I always most people I've heard always heard. It's nothing you can do. It's nothing you can do, and that may be true. But I've always been the one that says, "Man, fuck that. I'm gonna try my best to hop in the car or something and drive as far away as fast as possible. And prayerfully, by the time I run out of gas, it'd be another car right there, so I can hop in that bitch and go keep going." like, 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 I don't play, like, because my survival instincts has always been the thing that kept me going. It's all about survival, whatever. I'm probably one of those cockroaches that when you pull one of the legs off, you keep fighting to get out, maybe even bite you to get away. Because for me, it's never give up. Don't stop. The only time you stop is when you stop breathing, and you don't even stop after that. But that's just a little insight about me and how I view things. And a lot of times I be trying to, well, I hope that certain people that I talk to, you know, take heed or peep game. No, don't get me wrong, I do be surprised. Like every now and then I'll have conversations with people and we'll start building on things, and I'll be surprised on things that they may have already known, and then they start teaching me some stuff, and that happened a few times. And I like talking to people like that. I hate having builds with certain people, whereas though I feel like I'm the only person dropping some gems. Now don't get me wrong, it's cool if if I'm that person in that position to be able to do it, and people don't know certain stuff, then that's one thing. But I look at it like I don't know. I don't like what's the book called? Something for everything for dummies. The joint for dummies. Like look at me as not figuratively, but like metaphorically speaking. I'm the dummy. I'm trying to learn stuff. I want to be that sponge to absorb as much knowledge as I can. And I feel like being around people who can't give me that is a hindrance to my growth. I was just talking to my brother yesterday, telling him about that because my younger brother, he he's cool with somebody I grew up with, somebody with the high school, but now we ain't had no fallout or nothing like that. We just like grew apart, and he became cool with my younger brothers, whatever, and they still cool to this day. And me and my brother was just talking, and he was saying like how he had to go somewhere important last week, and our mutual friend was with him, and my brother was embarrassed because of the way you know our mutual person that we both know looked, and he said smelled. He said he stunk. He said he smelled like he ain't washed up, and he smelled like alcohol and all that stuff. And I was telling him, well, now you see why we're not really hanging out no more, because he's still in that type of time when we was young boys, when it was like when it was illegal, like 'cause we was like 17, 18, smoking weed, going out drinking and stuff. Too young to be going out to certain clubs and drinking, but doing it because it was fun. But I grew out of that, once I got in my 20s, start having kids and everything. Certain friends of mine didn't. They still out there doing what they do. And the messed up part about it is some of them got kids and still do it. And I'm like, well, look, I can't afford to do stuff like that because the people who you hang with, whether you want to believe it or not, is a reflection of yourself. And people are going to look at you that way. You're going to get judged, whether you believe it or not. If you're hanging around a known thief, they're going to view you as a thief as well. If you're hanging around a known gossiper or cheater or whatever, you're going to be looked at as in the same category. It's just fact. Also, energy is real. And like I just was saying, I can't be around people and I can't learn nothing from you because you're pretty much draining my energy to help you and not vice versa. Like there's no trade off. So we was having this conversation. Me and my brother, we was in the car driving. I was taking him somewhere, and this was yesterday, just yesterday. And I'm like, well, look, I ain't saying stop hanging with him, cause Seville, I said his name, but he cool, like he cool people's whatever. Don't get me wrong, he a good friend, but he lazy and don't want to do nothing. And if that's not what you want to do, then you got to change your surroundings. Like look at all the shit I just was talking about. Look at everything that's going on. People are so ignorant to it. People are just so caught up in a whole world, their own stuff, pity party, whatever the thing may be. Now, I understand that mental illness is a real thing. I understand that depression is a real thing. People are in despair. People are hurting. People are broke. I get it. Like I can dig it. But that's where the whole faith come in at. See, you see how I went full circle and came back around. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. Like everything in this world is connected, regardless of what you talk about. It all goes back full circle. Now, again, I understand a lot of people don't have faith, a lot of people don't believe, and that's cool. I'm not going to shun you on that. I mean, let me go back. It ain't cool. That's not cool at all. But I ain't going to shun you on it. I ain't going to judge you or nothing like that. You know, that wouldn't be cool if I did that. But the mere fact is, I have faith, regardless of you do or you don't. I do. So I believe for the both of us, or the thousand of us, a million of us, billion of us, however many it takes. And I say that I'm gonna take a little quote out the Bible. But if you have a faith, you ain't even gotta have that much faith. Just a little bit, the size of a grain of a mustard seed, you be alright. But you gotta live with that though, and you gotta hold on to that. You just can't say you got it and just, you know what I mean. Now, life is frugal, life is crazy, life is funny. So that faith is gonna be tested. It's gonna be tested like a mud, and I'm sure it has and did test a lot of us, and that's why a lot of people, you know, do what they do. But that's where that strength comes in. That and you surround yourself with people, like-minded individuals, you know, who think the same and trying to gain more knowledge, knowledge of self, knowledge of faith, just knowledge of the world and the universe. And if you're someone like me, more so, and don't really like being around a lot of people, you do all that stuff by yourself, but you still do it. Like, I mean, let me frame that. I like being around my family, you know, like just real close family. And I can only take so much of that, and then I gotta be with myself. Like, I'm real. I'm coming to realize that I'm a hermit in nature. Like, like my house now, I stay in my man cave underneath in sub level. Like that's where my studio is and everything. Uh, I'm into nature. I plan on retiring out in the woods some damn where, or on a private island somewhere, just somewhere that's connected to nature and being around um the elements and the resources and not a lot of people. Maybe someone here and there, but you know, for um like resource purposes, like a doctor's office, stuff like that, maybe a market, stuff like that. But personally, I could live in a population of like 100 people, probably even less. I'm trying to tell y'all, that's how much I really don't like being around a bunch of people now. Maybe because I told y'all energy is real, and I get a lot of bad energy from people. Like I'll be I'll be so I do this um I do like this bartending and stuff sometimes, and it's in the city of it's like I moved out of the city of Philly. I'm like in the outskirts in the county, and I'm like a freelance bartender. So I'll go to these gigs or whatever and bartend for like 3 or 4 hours and make my little money and leave. But it's in, like I said, it's in the city or whatever. And where is it at? It's like downtown or like University City, pretty much parking nightmare. You know, Philadelphia Parking Authority, they love it out there because they give so many people tickets. And with my experience, like I used to before I moved out of the city, and before I really started like doing my own thing as far as like making my own type of money where I ain't really got to work for other people. I was always downtown. Like I went, my school, my colleges, my jobs, everything was downtown, and that was like my world for probably like 15 years. And I remember, like I remember when I was going to ITT Tech. I remember like in a week, in 1 week, I got two $301 tickets when I had a what the fuck was I driving at that time? It was my white Jeep. I had like a white Grand Cherokee or something. I think that's when I had my Jeep, but I got two $301 tickets within like 5 days. I was so mad. I was so I was so mad, and I know the city of Philly was so happy, you know. And so the reason why I'm saying all this is because I don't drive in the city no more when I gotta go to the city, so I catch the train. And I brought all that up is because now when I catch the train, and I haven't had to catch public transportation in a very long time because I'm always driving. So the past two 2 or 3 weeks since me doing like this bartending stuff, I've been having to go to the city and catch the train down there. And I realized why I love driving. Because no, no, let me take that back. I hate driving. Let me get that back. I hate driving because every time I drive, I always say I wish I can teleport. But I love driving instead of taking public transportation because of just dealing with the people and the negativity. Like I was on a train like 2 weeks ago. I go to get on a train, and you know how you understand on a train platform? It was literally diarrhea on the platform. Someone just diarrhea, and I seen the dude too as I was coming down the steps. He had just walked out like the rotating gates, and he done diarrheaed all on the benches, on the floors, and it was like a trail, and that shit stunk. And I'm just like, oh my god, I was so pissed off that I had to see it because I got a vivid, and now man, I'm talking about it because now I'm visualizing it now, and it stank. I was so mad. Then you got all these junkies on the train and people just. I'm like, yo, I'm over it. I'm over it. And even when I'm like in the city, just dealing with certain people, I just be looking like, yeah, I can't wait till I get in the house and just get on my property and just chill. And that's kind of part of the reason why not part of the reason, that is like a big reason why I started doing my own thing because I don't like being around a lot of people. Because people ain't no good. People ain't shit. A lot of people ain't. Like the individual can be cool, but the only way you get to know that is if y'all interact and start talking and having conversations, and you start realizing that y'all got stuff in common or whatever. Blah 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 blah. But when you're not used to dealing with a lot of people and you want to get around that, it's kind of hard for me to get to know a bunch of new people personally because of that simple fact that I don't want to take a chance of you killing my vibe, pretty much. And it's sad because I got daughters, and my daughters, well, my oldest daughter now, she's starting to think that shit don't stink. She's 14 years old in high school now, so I'm sure some of y'all know how that is. But my other two daughters, they're younger, and I mean my oldest daughter too. Like they all like nice kids, whatever. My oldest daughter just got a little attitude now because she getting a little old at that age, but relatively she's a nice girl. Like she don't get in trouble in school and all that, just all A's, like shit like that. But um, our two youngest daughters, they so damn innocent, and it kills me that I have to talk to them like, don't talk to this person, or don't do that, or you can't go here or there. Like, now that was the reason why I moved out of the city, but they mom still live in the city, and we got the shared custody. So they don't just stay with me; they stay with me and their mom. So they here with me 1 week, and they'll be with their mom. And I be having to worry about like, and that's crazy because that's stuff that I think about, like shit that goes on in the city because of the violence. Now I don't know where none of y'all at, but like I said, I'm from Philly, and I'm sure y'all hearing what's going on in Philly right now. Like Philly is crazy, and I hate it. I made a video a couple of months ago, maybe a month or so ago, maybe 2 months now. I don't know, but I was saying like how um I can't wait to be able to move out of the state of Pennsylvania. Like my two youngest daughters, too young now, and going back and forth like the whole battle with the moms, and trying to leave it. That shit would be too much right now. I can't even hold you unless I was like on some country rain type stuff and paying all these stuff and having to move where I want them to move. Then that's different. But no, so I would have to wait to get out of here. But the bad part about it is, like I was saying, it's so much shit that's going on in the world today in these cities throughout the country. You don't know what the fuck. You don't know when whatever is going to go down. Like I can be like, yeah, I can't wait till my kids get a little older, so we can leave. That way they can decide rightfully, because that's pretty much what I'm waiting on. If they can decide rightfully if they want to go with me or stay with their moms, my two youngest daughters, and something can go down tomorrow or next week, whatever. Cause leave it to me, I want to leave now, and it's for funny. Cause me and my mom, we talk about that stuff now. And my mom, she on the same type of time. She waiting on the kid and my brothers. She like, I'm waiting on your brothers to get their shit together. And the girls get a little older, so we can just go. And it's so funny because my mom grew up like a city girl. Didn't want to leave the city. Didn't want to leave the hood. I love the hood, the hood, 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 hood. Um, We grew up at Blumberg Projects. If anyone from North Philly, y'all y'all know all about that. And maybe because of old age now, because she getting up there in age, she changing. But she got a whole different perspective on life and want peace and quietness. And I remember specifically asking her when I was about 12 or 13. Because it's so funny because I was on this type of time back then. I asked her, I'm like, would you want to move out the city and move like in the country or something or the woods? I didn't say the country, I said the woods. That's what I said. I said the woods or the forest. And she said no. She said, I ain't never want to leave the city. And I was like, I remember being that young, just like, oh, okay. And now it's totally different. And like I said, I was like 12, 13 at the time. I'm 38 years old now, and I still think the same way. Maybe because there's a lot of stuff that's about to go down. Peace. What's going on? Peace. I'm sorry. You probably said that a while ago. Sometimes I be talking so much. That's why I don't. I gotta get better at my lives because I'm always talking. I don't really be paying attention to the screen. People be chatting. And I don't even be looking. But pretty much this whole live is just about. I mean, one, I put open discussion because I know how I do. I'm all over the place. So I wanted to be free for it to be open. And I knew I was going to mention something about Kanye or Charleston White. That's why I put that in there too, as well. But um, the fact that I'm seeing certain people starting to say things out loud that I didn't think that they certain people would or didn't or didn't care and call it what you want. Um, Kanye seemed like he woke up. I don't agree with everything he say or does, but neither should you. You shouldn't do that with nobody. But from the perspective from what I'm saying, like he ain't sleep no more. He peep game, and that's cool. And I've been saying from the rip since July 9th, 2020, since I started this channel, um, peep game. It's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people are not hip to the distractions. My man Leon, he still send me a lot of stuff, and I wish I can post or report a lot of that stuff that he sent me because a lot of that stuff is real vital. But I'm not trying to get taken down either. It's a lot of information to be had. Now, of course, I got backup stuff and everything. I probably got backup for everything because I got several different channels, like different type of genres of channels, and I probably got backups for all of them. But then you got to do the process of trying to rebuild and all that, and if I can avoid that, I will. And I already got so many like censorships and all that stuff on my channels on my TikTok. I just started TikTok this year, and I got a lot of um strikes on there now, and it's probably because I'm growing fast on TikTok. I'm growing faster on TikTok than I did on YouTube. I should have started TikTok years ago, but Yeah, I don't want to get taken down yet. If I can last as much as long as I can, because like I've mentioned, so many people, like way before I even started the channel, so many people that I've been like following and listening, even after I started my channel, that I've been like taking notes from, they ain't here no more. Like X22 report, they're not here no more. Red Racer TV, they're not here no more. The NFAC, Grandmaster J, he's not here no more. The Earth, Amina, who was on MREC TV, she's not here no more. There's so many people that I've been listening to who's not here no more. It's and then I see a lot of people who 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 took my approach and start falling back, letting these strikes and stuff die down until they can start doing stuff again. So I noticed certain people took that approach too, and that's smart. That's real smart. you know, um, but the censorship is real. The hate, jealousy, the misguided, the misguided hate is what I call it, because we hate on each other for whatever dumb reason. And kind of like Charleston White was saying, I don't agree with everything that man says or does, but this one thing I do agree with what he said. He said, "I I fear black people or black men more than I fear the police." He like, I'm more afraid of them than I fear the police or other people. Or I gotta worry about them more than I gotta worry about the cops. And today, in today's world, that's true. And it's so crazy because maybe 5, 10 years ago that wasn't true. Maybe it was the other way around. But today, here, right now, yeah, you gotta worry about your own kind more. Hell, yes, you got cops killing or a black men and woman. Can't just say leave the woman out, because I think the last 2 years have proven that it's different now, and that's all across the board. From law people taking out regular people, from regular people taking out other regular people, from crime against man versus man. Now it's man versus woman. As far as like the slayings and stuff and children, there's no more respect. It used to I mean, we all had cycles throughout history, but more so than others. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but at least the murderers and those type of people had some sort of dignity where they, you know, chose a specific type of target. They wouldn't, you know, kids and women and all that. You can't even say that no more. It's crazy. And Crocodile Tears is right. He is a free thinker. I'm assuming you're talking about Kanye West or Charleston. Either way, yeah, free thinkers. And uh, just like my man, oh my God, his name just slipped my head. Oh man, what's his name? What's his name? The conspiracy theorist, David what? Canadian guy. What's the conspiracy dude name? David. He used to always been on that UK TV show on YouTube, the YouTube show, the London Rail with Brian Rose. But he used to always had a boy on there. David, damn, what's his name? Hold on, I gotta look this guy up. I'm sorry. Hold on, give me one moment. Thinker. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. London Real. David Icke. There you go. I knew it was something. I knew if I typed in London Real and typed in David, his last name will pop up. David Icke. Now, if y'all don't know who David Icke is, look him up. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I told y'all, take certain things with a grain of salt. Do your research. Don't believe everything you hear, whatever. Because I don't believe everything I hear. Some of that shit he's way out there what he say. But a lot of stuff he say is actually factual as well. So I advise y'all to look up David Icke and check my man out and see what he be talking about, because he can open your eyes to some real stuff. Also, Jordan Peterson as well. Um, my whole introduction into the red pill sector, not even a manosphere, but just the red pill in general, is just Jordan Peterson. He say a lot of stuff that's enlightening. Also, Louis Farrakhan. A lot of stuff I don't agree with what he say, but a lot of stuff I do. I told y'all, say it again. I'm one of those take the good with the goods and bad with the bads type of people. I believe you can learn something from someone you don't even like or necessarily always agree with, and that hasn't done me bad thus far. Hold on, I realized I stopped my music. I meant Kanye. I understand Charleston White as well. Yeah, I kind of figured you meant Kanye. I mean, I mentioned them both around the same time, so it could have been either or, but I kind of thought you was talking about Kanye just off the context of the conversation. And you're right, because free thinkers has always been. I notice. Just think about the free thinkers of the last. You ain't even got to go real far back. Just think about the last 25, 30 years. Where most of them at right now? Think about their reputation. If they're not, you know, in jail or unalive, what happened to their reputation, what to their careers? If you question the status quo, if you have some type of reservement on the official authority, then you get castrated. And that's just fact. Even the whole thing where they talking about don't question the science. How does that make sense? Don't question the science. All science is questioning. All it is just theories and hypotheses. So how can you not question the science? Or if you disagree with certain said individuals for having some type of control over something, or just anything in general, then it's considered anti-Semitic. I've been telling y'all that free speech is all but gone. Because yeah, you can say whatever you want to say, just as long as you know there's consequences afterwards. How that's free speech? I don't understand. Crocodile Test said, "Oh yeah, we programmed to go against the ones who try to free us now." Yep, and that's been happening for centuries now. The one who try to free us from bondage are the ones we crucify. Shoot, they did it. They did it to my man. They did it to the number one guy, all our mans, over 2,000 years ago. And that's the thing that kind of sustains me too as well, is because it's like, or I should say, that's the thing that keeps me level headed, gives me levity, because that's part of the reason why I don't get so caught up emotionally in things. Because if you can do that to him, what you gonna do to me? You know, you can do anything, because I'm nothing on the grand scheme of things. So having that type of understanding always kept me level headed, and always had me knowing that people are crazy. And that's kind of another reason why I want to get out away from people. Because if y'all think about the deaths that happens on Black Friday. Y'all notice them Black Fridays been getting crazy and crazy every year, and people be getting trampled over and all that stuff. Now think about and think about that times a grid shutdown, or just some type of martial law. Y'all thought January 6th of last year was crazy. We thought the riots of 2020 was crazy. We ain't really see nothing yet. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna end this live right here. Facts. Scientists don't always agree with each other. Years ago, they said Einstein was wrong. Came back years later and said he was right. It be like that sometimes. You know, tell that to Doctor, you know who. Begins with a F, ends with a I, and see what he say. All right, thank you for joining me. I'll holler at y'all the next one. Don't forget the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification icon. And I'll see y'all. Peace.